So XDF, and I'm gonna keep doing some more challenges from the RunCode competition last week. I'm gonna look at one of the intermediate challenges, missing logs. So we'll look at this now. We are compromised completely at some point recently. We're not exactly sure when, but we know they removed an entire day's worth of web logs to cover their tracks. I got given an archive of logs over the time frame, determine the date most likely that we got pwned. So then I got it downloadable here, so I'll go ahead and save this file. Okay, move this from downloads over to what was that thing? Yeah, there we go. Over to my folder here. And I guess to start, I'll go ahead and just take a quick look at this and see what's inside. So we have a whole bunch of access.log files here. The first one is completely empty, but the rest of them have data in there. So I can cat all these together and take a look at them. And there's certainly these are standard Apache access logs. So what I'm going to try to do first, before I start writing, I guess my gut here is always to go to Python as my fastest language, but to get a feel for the logs, I'm more comfortable starting in Bash. So if I start with one of these logs here, and I just grab the first 10 lines, and what I really want to do is get just the dates. So I'm going to start manipulating the text here. I'm sure there's a bunch of ways to do it. I can do it with, let's see, so cutting on space. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4 to here, and 5 to here. So if I put that into a cut with a D on space for delimiter, and then F, I think I want 4 and 5. Let's see how that looks. Yep, that's exactly what I was looking for. That's pretty cool. So now what I can do is I don't really care about the time either. I just care about the date itself. So I can put this into another cut. And this time I'm going to do the delimiter of this colon, and I'll just take the first field. And now I'm doing the whole file, but I'm going to pipe it into a sort-u, which will just give me the unique values. And so in this case, it's November 7th. And if I come back here, instead of doing just the first file, if I do all the files, I can see very quickly, okay, I've got November 1 through 7, and I've got October 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. Oh, I'm missing November 5th right here. So I bet the answer to this question is November 5th. I've got the answer to the question is November 5th. Sweet. Now, I could do this in Bash. The challenge is that things like getting November, I'm going to have to have some code that changes November into a number so that I can make it sortable, or I have to have some way of sorting the month in order that I know. At this point, I sort of just go back to Python and say, okay, that's probably more interesting. So let's start. What was this one called? Missing logs.py, and we will start with our shebang. User bin env python 3. We'll import sys, because we need that to read the file in. The other thing we're going to need is we're going to be given a tar file. So if we look here, I made this big so it's readable, but it kind of goes off. You're going to run it as path_solve.py, and then you're going to pass it the tar.gz file. And so what I really need to know is, how does Python read a tar file? If I can type, ooh, I really can't type. There we go. And there's a module called tar file. And so in fact, and I can give it, like read gz, because that's exactly what I'm going to have here. So that works out really nicely. We'll scoot this over so we can see both at the same time here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, let's see, what does this look like? I want this tar file.open is what I'm going to probably want. I will say sometimes the Python actual docs don't have, okay, yeah, the examples are not as good, but here we go. So here's some writing. Here's a read gz. Okay, so I'm going to do tar equals tarfile.open, just stealing right off that page. And then we're going to give it sys.argv1, and we're going to read gz. And then it looks like what I can do is for tar info in tar print. Here, we'll go ahead and do this and see what it says for ours. like that. We'll write that. Let's come up here and Python missing logs.py, and then our file was that. Oh, we didn't tar file not defined. Let's go make sure we import it. That should solve that problem. Let's see. And just on Tmux, if I do Control A or Control whatever your magic key is, and then hold down the A but don't let go, and use up and down arrows, I can make the window sizes change like that. All right, this was very noisy. Let's come down here. I don't know why on earth we would not want a new line after each file. So let's get rid of that. Try again. This might be just too much garbage to. Oh, did I undo that somehow? Check the import tar file. All right. So that looks better. Ooh, what did I just do? AZ to zoom. Let's make this bigger so I can see it. So it is reading the logs, and okay, it's giving me each of the files. That's interesting, but what I really want to do is get each file out. So let's come back here and see, how do I read the files here? So I can do if tar file is reg. How do I read the files? Tar file open, tar file add. Huh, okay, let's keep going here. Python read file from tar. That seems like a good check. Stack Overflow help me here. Accept all cookies. What's the answer? So here we go. For member in tar. Okay, we'll use this loop right here. And let's go back to that. We'll zoom this here. So we'll do for member in tar.get members. And then we can say, get rid of this line. F equals tar.extract file member. And we'll just do this. We'll say lines equals that. And so now we can come down here and say lines plus equals f.read lines. Let's see if that works. And what I'm going to do here is just put a -i at the beginning here. And that is going to let me have a prompt at the end of the file. And it had the same error that I think the person in the Stack Overflow post was getting. So this is where I'll just do if f is not none, read lines. Try that again. Cool. And so what I've got here, I ran my program and I'm sitting at this prompt. And so I can do, like I can interact with my program at the end here. So length of lines. So I've got 5,636 lines. Let's check out what we had here. 5,636 lines. So we've got all the lines in our file here. If I look at like the first line, it looks exactly like what I want. So I've done a really good job here of, I've now opened the tar file, read all the files in, saved them all as lines. And so now what I want to do is figure out where is the gap in the dates. And so this seems like a good place for datetime. So import datetime. Write that. And now what I really need here is, so first I guess I need to go through each line and actually edit it down to where I want, what I want it to look like. So actually I'm going to go ahead and here with datetime, with having the option of datetime available, I'm going to rerun it and give myself this prompt. So now I can do things like lines, sub 0. And how would I split this to get just the date? And so really what I can do the same thing I did before, is split on this, and then I want 4 through 5. It might be 4 through 6 because of that. Because this is a bytes-like object, I need to split on a bytes-like object. That worked. I think I'm actually going to need 3 through 5. There, that looks better. I can come back here and do a .join on that. Put the space in there. Still working with bytes. So what I've done there is I've taken my line, I've split it on space. I've gotten the third and fourth, because fifth is the stop not inclusive. So for the third and fourth item, which was, if you come back up here, right here. So this is the third item, this is the fourth item, the two things. And then I've said, well, now I'm going to take the space and join on that. So it puts it back together based on that. So that gives me what I want. If I want to be a little bit more, let's see, I don't want the, I can do a strip on the characters right here. And of course, got to make it bytes. And now I've got just the date string. That's exactly what I want. So I'm going to save this down here somewhere. So I'm going to say, let's go ahead and grab that. And you know what I can also do while I'm cleaning this up? I can probably, I'm going to go ahead and do .decode here. So that'll convert those bytes into ASCII. And so now I can get rid of these B's all over the place here. Like that. Okay, so that's my line for what's going to, how I want to take each line. So I could do this in a for loop. In fact, I'll show that. So if I do for line and lines, I can say timestamp equals and give me that timestamp. And then I come up here and I could say like results or just res equals like that. And so now I can say datetime. So we'll do datetime.datetime, if I can spell, .str. I always forget which one's which. I think it's strp time. Let's go ahead and look it up. Python datetime from string. Convert a string into datetime. Perfect. And so I'm going to want to use strp time. So I got it right. Sweet. And then, oh, this is really useful. So what I give strp time is the date string. So in this case, let's do this one down here. That. And then the next thing is the format string of what I'm looking, what I expect the input to look like. So in this case, I know it's going to look like, and this is where I can use this strftime.org. The first thing is going to be a date. So day of the month right here. So it's %d. I can do %d, and then I have a slash, and now I have this abbreviated month name. So %b slash, and then a 4-character or 4-digit year. So capital Y. And then I have another colon, and now I'm going to have hours, minutes, seconds. So let's find hours down here is going to be capital H. Then capital H. Minutes is down. Where's the minutes? Minutes is 0 padded number, %m. And then seconds. It's going to almost surely be %s. Yep. S. And then I've got this timestamp offset thing that looks exactly like this right here. So I'm going to use %z. Z like that. And now that should be the end. Let's see if that, and that returns. It's kind of hard to see here because my font's so big, but I ran that, and what came back was a datetime object from 2021 October 31st at 2:14 in the morning in the time zone UTC. So that's exactly what I want. I want to get an array of these things. So what I can do down here is I can say res plus equals, and then put that right there, date.datetime on ts, comma, and then give it my string here and close it off. And now at the end, I should have an array of res, which is all the datetime objects. So I'll run this again. Again, I'm using the -i, so I get to play at the end. Oh, okay, that's not how we append here. Let's see. Let's try that. Append. Let's try again. Okay, so now if I do len of res, if I do res sub 0, it's a datetime object. So I've got these datetime objects. What's really nice now is I can do sorted res and get the first object. And let's see, get the last object. Oops. Get the last object. What am I doing wrong here? Maybe sorted is not going to work like that. Len res, len sorted res. I might need to do an actual sort on it. Going. Let's see. That's weird. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Let's check out. I wonder if we did something wrong down here. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. So what I did was, instead of doing for line in lines, I'm just grabbing the first item every time, and that's why it looks like the first item. So we'll fix that here. That's the problem with making examples like that. Come up here and run again. If I do sorted res, get the first object, it's on the 25th. If I get the last object, it's on November 7th, and that is what I was expecting. So that makes me feel a little better. So I can also, this may be very readable. What I would tend to do if I was coding this would actually be to do this in a list comprehension. So I'd start like this, and I would just say L for L in lines, and then for each L, I want to do date time, all of this, and then I want to do all of this. And I could set this equal to res2. Let's run that and see if it, where did I break something? Oh, okay. I need the L. And if once I get this working, I'll explain exactly what's happening here. Oh, I just pasted the L in the wrong place. There. Okay, so let's run this again. Parentheses do not match. This is what I get for rushing through this. So I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to join there. I'm going to strip off that. Oh, I need that lines up there. So I need the, I think that should work. Let's strip time st up because I need the I've got it down here. I need the string I'm getting out, and this is really why you shouldn't do it this way. You should write it the way I showed above, but I would build it up the same way I just showed. So if I do res2, if I do len res2, now it's the same as that. If I do res2 76, I get that. If I do just res7, these things are effectively the same. So what did I do down here? Let's make this big again. So I'm doing the same kind of list comprehension. So I'm going over each L for each line. It's going to be L. And then for each one, I'm taking it, I'm breaking it apart just like I did up here into just the time string, stripping off the square brackets at the end, passing it to datetime, strp time with this format string. And what's going to result is a datetime object. And so I'll have an array of datetimed objects, one for each L in lines. And that would work too. Anyway, I don't need that anymore. I can get rid of it. Now comes the task of saying, what do I do? And really all I need to do here, if I can make, this is where it starts to make some assumptions. So I come back to the challenge and it says a full 24 hours is going to be missing. And so I'm going to take a guess and just say, what if I just step through all my logs, assuming that the day on each log is going to either be the same as the previous one or the next one. So what we'll do is we'll say cur equals, and this is where I got to figure out, okay, so let's say res sub 0, and that's a datetime object. Let's see, what can I do around that? Oops, not ls, sure. So one of my options right here is, let's see, month, and so really I want month, day, and year, or really, let's see, what's the best way to do this? I don't remember exactly how I solved this originally. Well, you know what I could do is look for one where there's a gap of more than, let's say, more than 24 hours, really. So what we'll do is we'll say for I in range, len lines -1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, what I can do here is I can do res sub 1 minus res sub 0, and I can see there's a difference of 63 seconds. And so if I take this I think I can probably, I got a time delta object, and there's probably a way to say total seconds. That's what I want. So if I take this, do total seconds, and get there. And so what I'm going to do here is loop over them, and I'm going to say for I in range there. I can say res sub I plus 1 minus res, not minus equals, minus res sub I, and then I'll put that in total seconds, total seconds, and I'll say if that is greater than 60 times 60. Now I got that's an hour times 24. Then I will print res sub I. And I don't think that's quite the format I need, but let's start with that. Let's see. Not so. Oh, because so what I said basically is I'm saying look at the function total seconds, and I want to actually call the function total seconds. So I'm going to run it there again. And now it happened 3 times. Why did it happen 3 times? Because my stuff is not sorted. So what I need to do beforehand is I come up here and do res.sort. Let's see if this will work. That should sort in place my thing. And there we go. I've got one exact thing here. And so what I really now need, now I know that that going from this one to the next one, there's a 24-hour gap. And so I think what I can safely do here is say I want to print res sub I. I want to go forward 1 day because I got logs on the 4th and I don't have logs again until the 6th. So I can go forward 1 day and print the day. So see, how would we do that? So first, what we can do is we can put a break in here. And now res sub I is the offending I. It's good. So now I can take that and do, let's see, .strf time. And I want to real quickly do back to my same thing here. We'll see. I'm looking for output of day, not 0 padded, month, comma, year. So day right here. So let's see, res sub I, comma, so percent minus D. The minus is so that it's not 0 padded. The month like this, so it's going to be percent B. And no comma there. I need to move that. And then the year 4-digit is capital Y. I'm still actually not quite right here, but we'll see. STRF time takes. I thought it was STRF. Let's check it. Let's Google. Date time to string. STRF time. That's what I have here. Oh, because I don't. Because I'm giving it that twice. Let's see. So that is what I need right there. Need the comma here. So what I can do here is come down here, call the break, and do print, and put this in here. And now I'm still missing one. I still have one problem, and that's that I'm printing the day before. I need to print something one bigger than that. So what I need to do is add 24 hours to this. So I'm going to do is come Google that. Python add 24 hours to date time. How to add hours to the current time. Date time. Let's see. Time. So time delta. So I just want to add a time delta with days equals 1. Add parenthesis here, plus date time dot time delta days equals 1. And that is the result. So I can check that. I mentioned this before, and you can go back and check out the intro video if you want to see more about this, but I can put that in the RunCode hash and see 4074. Back to this page, 4074. So I've got the expected solution here. Now is the time to take this and pop it up to this platform and submit. And in just a second here, we'll see if I got it right or not. It should pop up here, missing logs, success, and it worked. So that's going to be the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that, and leave me a comment and let me know if these run code videos are interesting or not. It's kind of different than the typical hacking stuff I've been doing, but you know, it's interesting programming stuff. So let me know if you like that or if you'd rather me stick to hacking. So thanks a lot, and talk to you next time.